Now, the Soccer World Cup is just beginning in South Africa, and tomorrow England play their first match against, you've guessed it, the United States. And this time, there might be a little more edge on both sides as they fight for national pride, because over here, eyebrows are being raised at your president's reaction to that terrible crisis in the Gulf of Mexico, and in particular what's being seen as his anti-British rhetoric. We wonder, are those famous skills of oratory which crushed his more experienced opponent in the race for the White House now being turned on us? As the leak moves into its 50th day, the world is united in sympathy towards those who live in the affected areas. 11 deaths, the pollution is truly a disaster. But the politics is starting to become similarly toxic, because in his efforts to show that he's got a grip, that this is not a rerun of Katrina, President Obama has launched a series of increasingly bitter attacks on BP, and in particular on its British CEO, Tony Hayward. Now, most recently, your president said he wanted to know whose ass to kick, and that he would have sacked Mr. Hayward if he'd been working for him. Would he have spoken like that about an American CEO of an American corporation? I wonder. It's perhaps worth remembering that accidents do happen in big industrial endeavours. Remember Bhopal, India, 1984. A poisonous cloud of gas escaped from the American-owned Union Carbide plant. More than 3,500 were killed immediately, perhaps up to 25,000 in the years that followed. The former boss of Union Carbide still shelters in America, and all demands for extradition have been blocked. No one in India got to kick anyone's ass there. In 1988, an explosion on the Piper Alpha oil production platform in the North Sea killed 167 men. An official inquiry was critical of the platform's owner, Occidental Petroleum of America. No one was ever charged with anything. So these things do happen. I'm sure BP is doing its best to stop the leak. It's promised to spend billions on cleaning everything up afterwards. Perhaps it's time for your president to stop his venting and yelling and channel those formidable energies to more productive ends. Meanwhile, back at the Soccer World Cup in South Africa, our respective ambassadors have already placed a bet on the outcome. The loser buys dinner. It's a tiny reminder that even when we're at opposite ends of the pitch, we're supposed to be friends and not enemies. This is Peter Allen for CBS News in London.